Welcome back to Rolando Maran's Football Capsules, using match analyst Michele Tossani to provide an insight into the team Cagliari. Ranked 12th so far this season, Cagliari is on 32 points in Serie A, and like Sassuolo is one of the team who has played one match less. Rolando Maran, the coach of Cagliari, uses mostly the 4-3-2-1 system, but they can also play 4-3-1-2 and 5-3-2. The Sardinian team started the season very well, winning away against Napoli and Atalanta. However, for some reason afterwards, they drew against Lecce at the end of November. So what happened to the momentum? Looking at the statistics in more detail, we can see that at the end of the first round, after 19 matches, Cagliari was 6th with 29 points, with an average of 1.52 points a match. The expected goals were 20.33, but the goals they scored were more, with 33, an overperformance of 12.67 goals. An overperformance means the capacity to score a chance that, for some parameters, have a lower probability to score a goal. The PPDA, the passes per defensive action, was also high, 11.66 passes before to intercept the ball, indicating the coach prefers to wait in the middle half to start the pressure, just better than 6 other teams. The expected goals against were 32.65, meaning the defensive phase of Cagliari is one of the worst of all in Serie A. In the second round, the team played the first 6 games before the COVID stop, gaining only 3 points with an average of 0.5 points a match. The PBDA didn't change, so no difference in the defensive phase. The expected goals against improved to 10.24, higher than 8 other teams, but the expected goals dropped off tremendously to 9.49, with 8 goals being scored. Looking at these numbers more closely, we can see the average points per match in the first round was 1.52 and the second 0.5. What has changed is the proportion in between expected goals and goals. Maran's team made an average of 1.58 expected goals per match in the 6 matches of the second round, whereas in the first 19 matches it was 1.07. This means that the goal efficiency also reduced. The first round was 1.62 and the second 0.84. Walter Zenga, the new coach, will probably work in the offensive phase to try to create better goal-scoring opportunities and to score more goals. So let's have a look then at the offensive phase. This is a match played at home against Roma. To build up the game, the team alternated between a direct build-up and a build-up from the back. Here, Clavan is the central defender on the left, dribbling the ball and reading the game in front of him. We can see how Cagliari created immediately numerical advantage of 7 versus 4 in their own half of the field. Here is a different option. The central midfielder, which is generally Ciccarini, but in this match versus Roma it was Oliva, goes to receive the ball in between the 2 centre defenders. The development of the offensive phase is generally from wide areas. They used a lot the lateral defender, who can choose to play the ball inside or pass deep over the opposition's defensive line. Here is an example of when the lateral defender plays inside. Cacciatore passes the ball inside to Nainggolan, with the space given to him by the rotation of the central midfielder, Oliva, who takes the position of the internal midfielder wide, and the 2 forwards attack deep. Cagliari used the cross very often in the final third, 17.12 on average a match, which ranks the Sardinian team 5th in this statistic in Serie A. Taking a look at the heat map of Nainggolan, it shows his preference zone. The Belgian player operates mostly in the opponent's half on the right. Here we can see that Nainggolan also ranks 8th in the league for assists. This shows how important this player is for the team, ranking 10th in the league for the amount of passes received in each match. Nainggolan works behind the offensive line of Cagliari, providing assists, key passes and takes direct shots with an average of 2.86 shots a match. Thanks again for your time to watch this episode, and next we'll be focusing on AC Milan, coached by Stefano Pioli.